Hey, what's up guys? Gons here for the Face Like the Sun YouTube channel with another video. In this video, I wanted to touch on what seems to be a creation of secret societies of outer space. And what I mean by that is sort of a Bilderbergers type group that is forming for the purposes of space exploration and colonization. And the reason why I wanted to talk about it is because, again, there's so much news about space right now. They have to be preparing us for something. Now, first off, I wanted to touch on a story that came out. A mysterious beam of light emerges from plant explosion. This was something that went around the internet and was on Reddit and other places. There's a video of this event, a couple of them actually, of just residents capturing really interesting flashes of light after a huge power outage and a boom that the residents heard. And here you see the video of this, strange light emission from what appears to be a plant and a weird beam of light either coming from it or coming down to it. Now, some have speculated that this is particle beam weaponry, perhaps a similar sort of technology that was used to take down the two towers. Now, I don't know too much about the story. All I know is that it's just another one of those weird things that's happening in our skies above us. But more importantly to this video, I was made aware recently of a website, the newworldinstitute.org. If you go to the website, they basically show their vision, which is a future of unlimited possibility and abundance created by the human imagination, powered by the resources of space, and made real using principles of democratic free enterprise. So very fascinating. This is sort of the new direction of the world. This is part of the New World Order system that they're trying to create. Now, this is very interesting. The three projects that they have here. First off, the New Worlds Conference. And if we go to that site, it tells us that they are planning different meetings for settling in space. And here's what I found interesting. In 2045, this world will no longer be the only world we call home. Although we may not be there, new worlds are about to open. And I'm assuming they're talking about outer space and perhaps other planets, but this is very interesting because 2045 is the exact same year that Dmitry Itskov and other transhumanists are suggesting we will achieve human immortality. So this year, 2045, keeps coming up in these globalist think tanks. So what is going on here? And it's very interesting when you think about it, because if you think about a century ago, 1945 was a huge year and all kinds of changes to our world as World War II came to a close. And so is this some kind of cyclical thing going on? Or do they know something? Did they know that something is coming? And one of the things they say here is that for such conferences, what they want to do is they want to feature top-level academic sessions on topics like space habitats, resources, transportation systems, and international policy. New Worlds brings together the best of the best when it comes to those setting our course towards the moon, Mars, and the free space between worlds, from NASA to commercial new space companies. So again, it seems like they are trying to create a Bilderbergers type of group for space exploration. And why are they trying to do that? Perhaps they are trying to disclose the technology that they have. Now, a couple other things that are interesting about this. If you noticed here on the bottom right, it says here, New Worlds Institute is a project of the Earth Light Foundation. And if you go to the Earth Light Foundation website, here it is. And they have a quote here: to carry the light of life to places now dark, the seeds of life to places now dead, and the eyes, hands, and minds of humanity to places yet unseen, untouched, and unknown. And you have projects here. You have UP, a celebration. You have Endowment for Tomorrow, and you have, again, the New Worlds Institute. And again, you have your vision here. You have their mission statement. And here's what I found interesting as their vision, action, and focus. They say here, we support the use of space for communications, energy, and the harvest of space resources. But our core goal, the one goal we stand for and will not deviate from, is the expansion of life and humanity permanently into space. Earthlighters hold this above all other activities in space, and where they conflict, our choices will be obvious. This very bold language here. Just, quote, doing space is not sufficient for us. Just exploring space, though exciting and good, is not enough. To an Earthlighter, the universe is there to not only be seen, touched, and understood, it is there to be our future home. Now, this is very interesting because this is part of the globalist agenda, right? They want to conquer death. They want to conquer space and get off planet because perhaps they know something is coming for judgment. The other part of it that's interesting with this whole New Worlds Institute is that there is a pioneering space summit happening this upcoming weekend. And if you go to the website, here you go, you have the Pioneering Space National Summit held in Washington, D.C., February 19th and 20th, 2015. You have the image of Earth, Moon, and Mars, and that will become significant in a moment. And as of this recording of this video, you have less than 24 hours until the conference begins. You have a goal statement to agree upon a shared vision and set a basic national agenda for U.S. human space activities beyond low Earth orbit, leading to permanent, thriving, and expanding human communities on the Moon, Mars, and free space, and to identify and prioritize the major areas of focus and knowledge needed to succeed in this goal. And what's interesting here is that this meeting is by invite only. You have to be invited to attend this conference. And if you go through the agenda, you have some very interesting talks happening here. You guys can go through it. I'll have the link in the description section. You have a talk on Moon, Mars, and free space. And you have several discussions about what to do and how they're going to go about doing it. So again, it's very interesting that they would be gathering thought leaders and the elite in the space industry to talk about these things. What are they trying to push for? You know, what is the Earthlight Foundation, whose goal is, above all, to expand human life into space? I mean, to me, it seems like this is the globalists, the elite, the New World Order, whatever you want to call it. They know they're running out of time. And so they're deploying the smart people of this world to come together and figure out a way to get out into space. I mean, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. We have people starving on this planet, but we have groups like the Earthlight Foundation who is so adamant about getting out into space. Very bizarre. Now, even more bizarre, NBC News last week reported on a poster that was issued by NASA. Now, this is not a joke, guys. Poster for Star Wars Episode 7? No, just the space station crew. This is the poster that was made for the International Space Station's Expedition 45 crew. And what's interesting is that the people who are shown on this poster are from the US, Japan, and Russia. Now, we know what's going on in geopolitics between the United States and Russia. So it's interesting that despite the fact that there is turmoil going on between Putin and Obama and, you know, just all the turmoil and the negative talks going on there, when it comes to outer space, we can still cooperate. So it makes you wonder, it makes you think twice about what all that geopolitics is about. But moving forward, the interesting thing here is, again, this meme of Earth, Moon, and Mars in the little triangular logo here. But check this out. You have Earth here, Mars here, but the middle here, the Moon, is shown as the Death Star. Now, why would NASA do that? Why would NASA use the Death Star as a representative of the Moon? Is this just, you know, part and part with the whole, you know, Star Wars Jedi sort of theme? Maybe. Or maybe they are telling us something else here. Now, there's a lot of conspiracies about the moon that I won't get into in this video. I'm sure you guys watching the video have heard at least something about the moon. We actually spoke to a guy who believes that we never went to the moon, at least in those NASA missions. And that'll be the next interview that we post on Canary Cry Radio. And actually, on Canary Cry Radio, I do want to mention that we did just post episode 85 of Canary Cry Radio with Doug Elwell on the topic of Planet X. And I went into it as kind of a skeptic, but after reading Doug Elwell's book and speaking to him, I'm a little bit more open about the possibility of there actually being a Planet X. And some of you guys have shared links to YouTube channels and stuff of people who have talked about it, and I appreciate that. And I'm more convinced than ever that Planet X is real. And actually, the New Agers are sort of moving away from Planet X based on Doug Elwell's book, because he showed so definitively that it is actually a biblical or a Christian idea that is in the Bible. And that's all very fascinating. If you want to check that out, that's there. The link is available in the description section. But that's another thing to consider here. All this space exploration of going out into space and you know, the National Summit and all this stuff. Why are they trying to get off Earth? Is it because they know that something is coming? something that will greatly alter the Earth. And they're trying to deploy, again, the smart people on this planet to help them get off Earth. So those are some of the things I wanted to talk about. One last thing I wanted to discuss here. Disclose.tv and other places published a thing last week called Russia Orders Obama. Tell the world about aliens or we will. And this was based on some comments made by Prime Minister Medvedev about aliens, saying that, if you don't say something about aliens, then we will, to Obama. But, the story's kind of old. However, the reason why the story hit the news is because Medvedev was scheduled to open the World Economic Forum conference that happened a couple weeks ago. Now, what's interesting here is that I went to the World Economic Forum website and checked out, they have a whole list of videos of what they talked about, and actually the videos of the lectures and discussions themselves. And what I found fascinating, I haven't looked through everything and I haven't found the whole space conversation. However, there was a lot of conversation about transhumanism, not using that title necessarily, but technology and the integration, and globalism, the New World Order. And I mean, the first talk here, if you look here, A Brave New World, ? And if you scroll through all the discussions here, you'll find some very interesting talks or titles of talks that you guys can go through. I haven't gone through all of these. I've only kind of skimmed around on a couple of them, but there are interesting ones. For example, global health security, global responsibilities in a digital age. In tech we trust, inclusive growth in the digital age. You have artificial intelligence. You have global risks 2015, military and intelligence. Let food be thy medicine. You have pandemics. Whose problem? A new global village. This is just New World Order propaganda happening right before our eyes. You have rebooting global trade. You have religion, a pretext for conflict, right next to rewriting human genes. So again, this is the New World Order happening right before our eyes. And you have Canary that was there. And I mean, this is just unbelievable when it comes to the blatancy of the New World Order agenda. If you are not aware of it by now, you probably need to get with it. You got to wake up. You have the future of intelligence agencies. You have the future of military, geoeconomics of energy. I mean, these are all what seem to be the groundworks for not just a mark of the beast system where if you don't get the mark, you can't trade, you can't buy or sell, a new banking context, a new digital context, a new energy context. These are all the context for the mark of the beast system, the globalist agenda, the New World Order, the one world government. And we are definitely seeing in 2015 a strong push to enslave the world while the elite either go underground and hide from whatever's coming or shoot out into outer space. They will probably do either or. And so those are some thoughts. All the links are in the description section for you to do research on. And again, guys, stuff is happening. Stay sober-minded. Always be prepared to give an answer. Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. God bless and take care.